Reading on His Own, Self-Taught Readers, and Huck Finn, Genius Reader from Growing Without Schooling, number 20. Reading on His Own. Leanne Ellis, Washington, writes, I must admit that I have been intimidated at times when reading GWS to read about young children who have taught themselves to read at age 3 or 4. My daughter, 9, is now a fine reader and enjoys the world of books as much as I do. But I have to admit that I helped her learn to read with all my sneaky little tricks of word cards, phonics games, etc. She was reading well by age 8, but a lot of my time and effort went into that accomplishment. Now I know that I could have saved all that time and effort for other pursuits because my son has shown me the easy way to teach a child to read. Just let the child see how much you enjoy reading, share the world of books with him, and let nature take its course. Bobby has been read to on an almost daily basis since he was an infant. This time and effort on my part I view as an integral part of mothering and wouldn't exchange all those warm, cuddly hours for anything. When I started sneaking in word cards, the lack of interest and then resentment made itself known, so I backed off. I tested the waters of his interest and readiness many times between the ages of 3 to 6, but he just wasn't interested. He began to read during that period, but his interest was lukewarm. Now he is 8, and his reading ability astounds me. Not because it is much above grade level if he were in school, but because his large reading and comprehension vocabulary grows so rapidly with no effort on anyone's part. He recently read through a set of Dolch word cards that he had never seen before, and knew every one of them, even though those words had never been introduced to him. He has never been given any of those cute little vowel rules that are supposed to help you unlock words. I just can't get over the miracle of his ability, and my daughter's too, to learn new words with no one teaching him. My teacher training dies hard, I guess. I thought that I would have to present all new thought, words, and concepts to him, and he would learn them. What a burden has fallen away as I come to understand that he will determine the timing and direction of his education, and my part is to provide him with an environment rich in opportunity, love, and acceptance. Self-taught readers from Pennsylvania. My husband spent 12 years in school, received a high school diploma, and was not able to read. As an adult, and while serving in the Navy, he taught himself how to read and spell. He is now quite proficient. My husband and I are in complete agreement with your efforts. Doug Anderson, 495 Ellis Street, number 2568, San Francisco, California, writes, When I had just turned 4, my sister would read to me. She was 7. Sometimes in the middle of a story, she would have to go to bed for school the next day. I was extremely curious to find out how the fairy tale ended, so I asked her if she would teach me to read. She taught me prefixes and suffixes and how to use a child's dictionary. I would try to read to her an hour a day, and she would help me with mistakes and show me how words were pronounced. When she read to me, I had always asked her the meaning of words. 2 weeks after I had asked her to teach me, I was reading by myself. I did not learn the alphabet, but I had a subconscious acquaintance with it from using the dictionary. When I went to school, I had Dick and Jane sitting in front of me. Mr. Holt, if some teacher took you at your present age and experience, sat you in a desk, and forced you to read Dick and Jane for countless months, what would be your reaction? My ability to read was extinguished. When I joined the service, I started reading again, and now I have a library of my own. Huck Finn, Genius Reader. Nancy Wallace wrote, When our family read Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn, something wonderful struck me. Even though Tom skips school all the time, he has the Robin Hood stories memorized and is constantly reading adventure books like the Arabian Nights that most kids today can't read. And when Huck Finn is adopted by the widow and sent to school, he learns to read anything fluently in less than 3 months. These days, it's supposed to take at least 8 years to learn all the skills necessary in order to read, and even then, a good number of the kids don't make it. Oh well, I don't suppose school teachers have much time to read books like Tom Sawyer these days. They're too busy getting their MAs.